I just found a video that I think all of you guys need to be aware of.
If SPF knocked on your door again and said, look, I failed in my last venture. I have a new crypto venture. I need money. Would you back him?
That's a great question. No one's asked me yet. I think we can all admit, you can love him or hate him given what's happened, but he was one of the most brilliant traders in the crypto universe. He also built one of the most robust platforms. We used FTX actively. It was a very robust platform that allowed us to get information on a compliant basis. So I really like what he built.
Would you back him?
The answer would be yes.
Yeah, I think that on its own is a good little piece to keep in the back of your head. Damn. We covered earlier today that he's trying to get a second chance and he's trying to get more new investors basically, or trying to raise money from a couple of different places, because if you look at it, a couple of weeks ago, FTX was doing so well. And if you look at it, their funds actually do not look that bad. But I really did not expect that people like Kevin O'Leary, seasoned investors, would work with this guy again. Guys, for me, this is not about the money. This is not about anything other than just craziness. Now, again, guys, make sure you press that like button. I'm trying to get to 500 likes on this video. Maybe we could even do 600. That would be pretty cool. Make sure you press that like button though, and let's move on. Mleeger said, or M. Lee Jr. said, you cannot make this stuff up. Kevin O'Leary is actually speaking right here. He's, of course, from the season so Shark Tank, was asked by Crypto Banter, Man Ran, if he would invest in Sam Bankman-Fried again. He's not saying if he would back FTX again, just if he would invest in this individual again. He basically describes that it was a pretty good ordeal, that his platform was really robust. And again, you will not believe his response, as he apparently was a paid spokesperson for FTX in the past, and of course an investor in FTX. He is also lobbying in DC. Maybe he's all doing this because he still wants his money back, and he's basically advocating for Sam Bankman-Fried to get his money back. You know, maybe we're not seeing Kevin O'Leary right here. He recently posted that he's not trying to make friends, just trying to make money. Maybe he's just covering his own ass here by saying that Sam Bankman-Fried guy was a pretty big genius, because that way maybe some other sucker will give him more money so he can get his money back from his failed investment. John Deaton said Sam Bankman-Fried did not fail his last venture. What is wrong with Kevin O'Leary? He didn't fail, not so Mr. Wonderful. He lied, cheated, deceived, committed insider trading, and stole people's money. O'Leary had the audacity to criticize Brian Armstrong, but he would back Sam Bankman-Fried again. My God! Again, he's also calling him a wonderful trader. Mr. Wonderful is calling somebody else a good trader. It's interesting because nobody really seems to know the actual insights as to how that trading commenced and where he got all the money from to start the platform and whatnot. If you take a good look at it all, people keep saying, well, he's basically counter trading, but that's against some allegations. And with all the leverage, well, that's obviously what got him screwed. If you play a very risky game, some might get lucky and it pops off. You got to understand it like this. If we all in a big group of 15 people, let's say 100 people, all try let's make it bigger. If we all in a pool of 1,000 people try some very risky tactic, let's say that half of us succeed the first time, half of us fail. Out of the 500 people left, if we try some crazy risky strategy again to 10x our money, maybe half of us succeed, half of us fail again. We have 250 people left. Get this down to eventually, half and half, eventually come down to, let's say, 5 or maybe even 1 person. That person has so ridiculously many successes in a row that he's just extremely juicily rich. That does not mean that he's actually really good, because theoretically speaking, it could just have been, it's just a probability game, basically. And, I mean, maybe he got basically to this position because of some insider info, some extra privilege, or some insider trading. But, yeah. So Moon Lambo said, Moon Family Sedan, that's shocking. Sam Bankman-Fried is a fraudster who was operating a Ponzi scheme, basically. Kevin O'Leary would back him in a new venture in the future, just wow. And I really wonder how many others would still back Sam Bankman-Fried after all this shenanigans. Some people are pointing out all the Democratic and all the political connections. For example, famous Democratic Party donors, Bernie Madoff, 89%, Mr. Let's not cover that too much. It's just really, really interesting to me. Now, on an opposite side, I've been scouting Twitter like a madman. I told you guys I'm spending full work week hours on Twitter researching everything that people are putting out. And I all of a sudden noticed that one of the most trendy tweets in crypto Twitter is this right here. Il Capo of Crypto posted, I repeat, exit all the markets. And some very notable names actually retweeted him and were basically agreeing that you should get out of crypto right now. Let me tell you guys this though. There is one thing I think is very, very recommended and one thing which I think is ridiculously dumb. Let me explain. I personally think one of the best things you can do right now is getting yourself some cold storage. Again, there's always going to be a link down below for a ledger, but the reason I'm saying that is because many people I think right now are moving crazy amounts of Tether, USDC, BUSD, whatever, to exchanges to potentially buy more crypto to add to their long-term stashes. But as of this point, not that many people are actually selling their crypto. About 2 years and a half ago, Bitcoin was at $3,000. Right now it's back at, let's say, 15, 17. It's a pretty good opportunity, even though I would still be happy if it went lower. But what's happening right now is they're trying to make it look as if there's some really crazy panic going on in the back end. Again, we've had a couple of bankruptcies, we've had a couple of failures. Again, right now we're hoping that because the whole BlockFi situation, that he might actually be extradited to the US to get in some heavier trouble. But what he's advocating for is basically, every time the price is high, buy more, buy more, buy more. Whenever the price dips a little bit and comes back up, buy more. But whenever things really, really crash, instead of actually buying more and preparing yourself for lower prices to buy even more, or potentially a recovery, no, here's where you basically exit all the markets, take profit, and be done. I mean, honest talk, guys. I've said this before. Where exactly are you going to take profit towards? We've covered on multiple different occasions that right now we're in a world where nothing is really safe. Everything can be taken away from you. And I'm actually in a couple of different groups where right now, the one thing that they're thinking about is where to go and how to actually be self-sustainable, basically, in a situation of absolute emergency. You have to understand, you with your dollars, it's not going to be worth a lot if things really escalate to the fullest. You with your crypto, obviously, that's not going to be everything if something happens to the interwebs. And you with your house in a modern city, they're just going to break in if things really, really come push to shove. So what exactly is safe? What exactly is smart? What exactly is good? What cannot be taken away from you? What cannot be seized? Gold can be taken away. A house can be taken away in the case of an emergency. Your crypto wallet, well, in theory, that can never be taken away because it's all potentially stored within your head. They cannot take the money away from you. It could just become useless, but that's the worst case. Without blabbering on too much, the point is, I'm not sure why taking profit right now would be a good thing, because if all the other markets crash, what can you take profit now into that's not going to do worse once you get it out, basically? I think seriously, by keeping it into crypto, you have the highest probability of actually getting yourself a really, really good deal, or basically it will still act as a hedge against everything going to the shitter. But I guess, well, I do that sometimes. I guess some people have a different opinion on all that. I personally just think it's, not really safe to go for anything else. I think crypto is one of the best options we have. To stay in conspiracy town, by the way, there's actually a really interesting little response to Sam Bankman-Fried's latest rant over on Twitter. Autism Capital, nice name. The phrase truth and beauty, which he ended his little story with, apparently is a line made famous from the 19th century poem, Ode on a Grecian urn. Beauty is truth, truth is beauty, that is all. Ye know on earth and all you need to know. Sam's tweet is potentially suggesting to not go in pursuit of answers which we don't need to have. Couple of side notes, Bybit has just come out with a disclosure disclosing Bybit's main user asset wallets, excluding other assets and consolidated wallets are too many to list, plus minus 20%. Around $1.9 billion, Bybit is also working on POR solutions, such as Miracle Tree on UID level. They're basically helping out with, showcasing exactly how much they got. Again, guys, I still have my money over on Bybit as of this point, as I honestly trust them. But I guess FTX has showcased you can never trust people fully. But the fact that they've always been transparent with us, at least, about every single situation, to me, it just shows they're doing pretty good. All is good. all is seifu, like Binance always says. With the whole Luna situation, things are getting more and more interesting. The only problem is these are long freaking threads, guys. There's just a new audit that came out regarding the Luna Foundation Guard a couple of hours ago. I might make a deeper video about it later today. Again, that's kind of what they say here. There's a massive black hole with no transparency, about 47,000 Bitcoin that went to jump. There are no trade logs whatsoever for this amount. This is a big deal. If we continue on, the absolute craziest thing about the Luna Foundation Guard audit is this graph of the net UST held against price. It shows that the first major UST DPEG perfectly coincides with TFL, Terraform Labs, dumping their UST holdings. This part isn't clearly explained in the audit, which is why I'm requesting more information, but it's almost as if they got greedy and accidentally pushed the DPEG over the edge themselves. I still wonder what's going to happen with the whole UST situation. I mean, the guy, what's his name again? Do Kwon, recently said they're still trying to get people to be paid back in some strange way. I wonder if eventually I'm going to look at my wallet and see a crazy amount of money in there. I still hope for it every single day. But again, the most important takeaway from all that is to not keep all your eggs in one basket by not trusting one single stablecoin provider, by not keeping all your money into one specific crypto, not all on one DeFi platform, and together with the whole Sam Bankman-Fried situation, not just one exchange and so forth and so on. Just diversification is key, and taking control of your own money is yet another one of those keys. But yeah, that was it for right now, guys. I have a little story on XRP that I could share with you guys. I might do that later today as well. And I'll of course be looking around the interwebs for more different pieces of info that I'm going to share with you guys as soon as I have them. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you press the like button on this one and subscribe for further updates. And also guys, make sure you put that notification bell on. It is very important. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.